The email I sent to HR just before lunch was still sitting heavy in my gut. My hands felt clammy, and I swear the cheap office coffee tasted even more like regret than usual. My name is Alex. I'm 33 years old, and up until about a week ago, I thought I had a pretty decent handle on things: work, relationships, the whole damn 9 yards. Turns out, life still has a way of blindsiding you, even when you think you've seen it all. This whole mess started with Jane, my 27-year-old coworker. She and her husband, John, were apparently on the rocks. I mean, who wasn't? But the level of drama these two were cooking up was something else entirely. Jane had been pulling me aside for weeks, cornering me by the water cooler, catching me on my way to the break room, just generally cornering me to dump all her marital woes on me. I'm a pretty laid-back guy, and I usually try to be helpful, so I listened. Big mistake. Huge. Turns out John had been having a 4-month affair. My initial thought, damn, that sucks. Jane, divorce the guy and move on. Simple, eh? Right? Apparently not for Jane. John, in a desperate attempt to salvage whatever was left of their train wreck of a marriage, had offered her a hall pass, a free pass to sleep with anyone she wanted, anytime she wanted. My eyes nearly popped out of my head when she told me this. I mean, what the hell kind of solution is that? It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. And why the hell was she telling me all of this? I'm her coworker, not her damn therapist. Then came last Friday, lunchtime. She cornered me again, but this time, the conversation took a hard left turn into uncharted territory. She looked at me, dead serious, and told me she wanted me to be her hall pass. My brain almost short-circuited. I thought she was joking at first. I mean, come on, me? She went on to explain that she picked me because her husband knew who I was, and it would hurt him when she told him it was me. My stomach dropped. I pictured John, some enraged husband, showing up at the office, ready to kick my ass because his wife decided to drag me into their marital hell. I could already see the headlines. Office worker attacked in hallway over coworker's affair. This was beyond messed up. I told her she was absolutely nuts. I wasn't going to sleep with her. Period. End of discussion. Number 1, I'm in a relationship myself. My girlfriend, Sarah, is a fantastic woman, and there was no way I was going to jeopardize that for Jane's twisted revenge fantasy. Number 2, I wanted nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with her drama. I kept it plain, no sugarcoating. I just laid it out there. Her response, well, I'm going to tell my husband that we had relations anyway. That's when the blood drained from my face. It was like a cartoon character trying to run, and all you see is a puff of smoke. That's how fast my mind went to HR. This wasn't just some awkward office flirtation. This was outright blackmail. This woman was about to ruin my life, my relationship, my career, all because her husband was a cheater and she was unhinged. I got out of there as fast as I could, my mind racing. I went straight home after work and told Sarah everything. She was shocked, pissed, and thankfully, on my side, we talked it through, and she was the one who helped me draft that email to HR. Just in case her husband comes to your job, she'd said. She was right. It was better to have it on record. I figured, okay, I've done my part. HR knows. Nothing else I can do now. I was just venting to Sarah. I really thought it would all just blow over. That was my first mistake, trusting that things would just magically work themselves out. I should have gone to HR first thing Monday morning, walked right in there, and demanded a meeting. But I'm a trusting guy, maybe too trusting. I always try to see the best in people, even when they're clearly showing me their worst. I've been burned before by giving people the benefit of the doubt, thinking I could analyze my way out of an emotional situation. This was another one of those times. I just thought the email would be enough. Monday morning came, and sure enough, before lunch, I got the call. Alex, HR would like to speak with you about an email you sent. My gut tightened. Here we go. The meeting was a joke. She said situation. They called it. I was dumbfounded. Wait a second. I thought, how the hell is this he said. She said, I'm the only one who reported anything. I didn't do anything wrong. Then they dropped the bomb. Jane had apparently told HR that I asked her to sleep with me. She had no proof. Of course, just her word against mine. But that's all it takes, isn't it? One accusation, one lie, and suddenly you're on the defensive, fighting to clear your name. This is why guys are learning to avoid women in the workplace. It's not their fault. It's stories like this. It's the constant fear that a perfectly innocent conversation, a moment of trying to be a decent human being, can be twisted and used against you. HR documented both our statements, said they'd keep an eye on the situation, and then gave me their sage advice. Don't be alone with her. Only communicate through text or email. Like that was going to solve anything. I hadn't seen Jane all day, or even yesterday. I guess she was avoiding me, which I was completely fine with. More than fine, actually. I knew this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. The comments I'd heard later, from a couple of guys I trust, confirmed my gut feeling. One of them, Mark, he's been through some shit. He told me, dude, you did the right thing, reporting it. But you gotta ratchet up your security and situational awareness outside of work. Sounds like this could veer into some crazy crap if that guy gets unhinged. Hopefully she doesn't know where you live. It sucks you're getting sucked into the drama, though. No fault of your own. He was right. I hadn't even thought about John showing up at my apartment. My own blind spot. I guess I tend to focus on the logical and professional, sometimes forgetting the sheer, unpredictable madness of human emotion, especially when it comes to marital drama. Another buddy, Chris, shook his head. Holy shit. She was gonna lie that you guys were having a relationship when it's not true. That is unhinged. Man, and for her to be so nonchalant about it. You dodged a big one. He was right. Again, I'd seen women try to manipulate situations before, but this was a new level of brazen. It showed me how quickly things can escalate, how easily your life can be turned upside down by someone else's desperation and disregard for truth. My first thought was always to be reasonable, to explain, to de-escalate, but some people don't operate on reason. They operate on impulse and revenge. The compliments felt good, though you handled it like a king. Another guy commented, respecting your relationship, staying professional, and protecting yourself. That's how real maturity looks like. Some people want to drag others into their mess, but you chose peace over drama. Major respect. I appreciated that. It's easy to get caught up in the anger, the frustration, the urge to lash out when someone's trying to screw you over. But I knew that would only make things worse. I had to protect myself, my job, my future. This was about self-preservation without apology. I wasn't going to be a scapegoat for her problems. The next few weeks were a blur of awkward silences and HR directives. Jane and I avoided each other like the plague. It was like an invisible wall had sprung up between our departments. We communicated strictly through email, and only when absolutely necessary for work. Even then, the emails were curt, formal, and devoid of any personal pleasantries. This was a good thing. It was giving me the clarity I needed. The emotional distance from the chaos. I started seeing how much of Jane's friendship with me was just her offloading her problems, getting attention, and probably testing the waters for this whole hall pass idea. My gut had been telling me something was off for a while, but I dismissed it as just being overly cynical. Now, I trusted that feeling more than ever. The stress, though, it was a real bitch. I wasn't sleeping well. My mind was always racing, replaying the conversations, wondering what Jane would try next. My appetite went to shit. Sarah noticed it too. She was amazing, a true rock. She kept reminding me that I hadn't done anything wrong, that I'd handled it exactly as I should have. Her support was everything. It helped me avoid the trap of constantly reliving the mistake of trusting Jane in the first place. I needed to move past it, learn from it, and not let it consume me. About a month later, things escalated again, but not in the way I expected. John, Jane's husband, actually showed up at the office, not for me. Thankfully, for her, apparently, he'd found out she was still trying to spread lies about me, even after her little hall pass scheme blew up in her face. He was yelling, she was crying, and HR had to intervene. It was a damn spectacle. Everyone in the office was talking about it. This was the natural consequence of her inability to take accountability for her own actions. She couldn't just divorce him and move on. She had to try and spin a narrative, drag me into it. And then when that failed, I guess she just kept going. It was a testament to her refusal of personal accountability. Everything was always someone else's fault, someone else's problem. After that incident, Jane was put on administrative leave. The official reason was creating a hostile work environment, but everyone knew it was because of her. Well, unhinged behavior. This was a huge relief. Honestly, the constant tension of her presence was exhausting. My productivity at work had actually taken a hit, just from the mental energy of always being on guard. This was a clear example of how professional life intersects with personal drama. I was lucky I had a good boss who saw through the BS. I learned a lot from this whole ordeal. First, keep it professional at work. No dating, no relationships, no hookups, and definitely no listening to their damn personal problems. It's not worth jeopardizing not just your current job, but your entire career, or even worse, getting dragged into some crazy domestic drama because some woman can't handle her own shit. Second, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. I had those feelings with Jane, but I ignored them because I was trying to be polite, trying to be a nice guy. That's a mistake I won't make again. This whole experience was a giant red flag, a reminder of why so many guys are learning to avoid the gals in the workplace. It's not their fault. It's stories like this. You try to be decent, you try to be helpful, and suddenly you're in the crosshairs, facing accusations and defending your reputation. It's best to just keep it to business, nothing more. Eventually, Jane resigned. It wasn't a surprise. Her reputation in the office was shot. Nobody trusted her. Her social circle within the company had pretty much dissolved. That's an organic consequence right there. When you burn enough bridges, eventually you're standing alone on an island. It's not about revenge, it's about people seeing your true colors and deciding they don't want to be around that kind of negativity and manipulation. My life slowly went back to normal. The stress melted away. I started sleeping better, eating better. Sarah and I were stronger than ever. This whole thing had actually solidified our relationship. Oddly enough, we went through a stressful situation together, and we came out on the other side stronger, more connected. This experience redefined my understanding of loyalty versus self-preservation. I used to think loyalty meant standing by someone no matter what, even when they were clearly in the wrong or trying to screw you over. Now, I understand that true loyalty is to myself, my integrity, and my long-term well-being. It's recognizing when someone is crossing a line and drawing a boundary without apology. It's knowing when to walk away from chaos and prioritize peace over drama. I'm still the same guy, still try to be helpful, but I'm a lot more careful now. My trust recalibration process is ongoing. I'm better at identifying red flags, at distinguishing between genuine connection and someone trying to use you. I'm not cynical, but I'm definitely more discerning. I learned a tough lesson, but I learned it. And in the end, that's all you can ask for from any screw-up. To come out of it smarter, stronger, and more clear-eyed than you were before. You live and you learn, and sometimes you learn the hard way, but at least you learn,